interesting matchup, first versus third.
Yeah.
And they've got probably the form player in the competition, would you say, at the moment, in Jed Drew?
Yeah, I think, well, in terms of goals and assists, undisputed. I think that he's been brilliant to watch in the recent weeks, and the energy that he plays with. And I think that the thing that impresses me about Macarthur is they play to their strengths. They know how strong he is at running in behind, and nobody hesitates to give those through balls to him. And I think that you see in other teams, players don't always necessarily play to each other's strengths and can look a little bit more clunky, but going forward, they're a beautiful team to watch. But I still think going against Auckland this weekend, they're going to have to be at their best to get a result in this game. Yeah,
catch the tactician this week as well, by the way. Daniel McBreen's got an interesting bit on Valère Germain, who, for me, if he was at any other club, he'd be talked about a whole lot more.
Very underappreciated as well, and obviously goals and assists, but his link-up play is fantastic. He's got a great personality. It's I think he's been a fantastic signing for Macarthur, and I think Macarthur is definitely a dark horse for silverware this year. Yeah.
Well, not if they lose Jed Drew, though, because there's an interesting question there. The window in Australia is still open until the 12th, I think, of February, so there's reports that he might be looking at a club in Sweden.
Right.
Mile Stojovski had a chat after the game on the weekend about whether the time is right for Jed to explore his options overseas.
When you look at his form, we've said it all along, once he gets consistency, he'll start getting recognition for it, and that's exactly what's happened. Is he ready to go overseas? It's difficult to say. Everybody's different when they get over there. In my opinion, I think he probably should stay and play a few more games in the A-League and get more experience. But if it happens to be now and he decides to go, we wish him the best. And yeah, it's difficult to say.
Yeah, I think I like Mile Stojovski's comments there, because I think that sometimes hearing these rumours can kind of be like confirmation that you're on the right track, but I kind of agree with him. I don't think it is the right time for him to go overseas. I also think it's important to differentiate, because we often talk about A-League players going overseas, but where are they going? I think it's important not to just lump all of Europe, for example, together and say, oh, he's going to Europe. Where in Europe is he going? Who's the coach? All these things, I think it's very important to kind of judge it on a case-by-case basis. So it'll be interesting to see if they do get any offers and what those offers are.
The other aspect of that is if he wants to play for the Socceroos, it would seem sensible to go overseas and establish yourself there, but not if you want to play in March.
That's right.
Because he would have to establish himself very quickly to be in hot form come March 20 when the Socceroos play Indonesia for that game. He's been probably one of the most consistent young players. We've talked about a lot of young players on this show about how good they've been in flashes and all that. Jed's sort of done it for most of the season.
Yep.
And another thing that Popper said the other day in that interview is he's just sort of challenged all young players to raise their level, do it consistently. One, as he said about Arzani, was talking about Arzani, but talking to everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Is one goal, one trick, one assist is not enough. Well, Jed's got 13 of goals and assists in 13 games. So you'd like to think he'll be on the cusp of selection, but I just think that would be endangered a little bit if he went now.
I completely agree. But at the same time, when you're changing clubs, I think you need to look at the big picture often, because, in an ideal world, you don't change clubs too often in your career. So, those they're defining moments, and you never know when the opportunity is going to come up again. So I think that for him to turn down an offer if he thought it was the right one because of that window, I think would maybe not be the right kind of mind frame to be in. But at the same time, he's on the right track. And if he continues this form, I think it's only a matter of time before he does get overseas.